Come on, Canada.
We've got
London.
Canada, we've got London, we've got
Trinidad. Oh, there we go.
We've got we've got Rotterdam, we've got St. Lucia. Hey, we've got who else? Who else? Who else have we got? Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do we have any more people in the waiting room? All right, all right. Great, 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 great. London is in the building. Welcome, London. Trinidad is here. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's let some more people in. Some more folks are coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So today we're having a very special program. It's all about getting a bit of an insight and introduction into the world of online. Well, not only online, but just scams in general. Now, do you know of anybody who has ever got scammed? If you personally know of anybody who has got scammed, just drop a 3 in the chat. Just drop a 3 in the chat if you know of anybody personally who might have gotten scammed. Yeah. That's one person. Oh, wow. Somebody said they personally have. Oh, they personally have. Wow. We're sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Just drop a 3 in the chat if you know someone who has gotten scammed. Just drop a 3 in the chat. 3, 3, 3. Yeah, we see you. Really sorry to hear that. Well, today we have a special program on. We have a special guest that's in the house. And oh, your father-in-law. You see the older folks. The older folks. We have a special guest in the house. This gentleman, he has a story himself of getting scammed. And now he investigates the scammers. And he will be here to, help us out and give us some insight into certain things. So without any further ado, Mr. Mate, are you on the call?
Hello, hello, Pale. Hello, everybody.
Feel free to drop your video.
Yes, there we go.
Awesome. Welcome.
It's great.
Welcome.
Hi,
Great.
everyone. Thank you for this privilege.
Yeah, so welcome so much, and thank you so much for jumping on this call so that you could, give the people a bit more insight into how these scammers and all of that operate. It's very, very sad when actually people get scammed, and I know you would have a lot of stories with regard to how people got scammed. But tell us where you're from first, and then how did you get into this sort of fraud investigation?
Right. Well, thank you for inviting me, Paul, and it's a really privilege to cooperate with you and with your guys as well. Welcome everybody. I hope you will enjoy. As Paul said, my name is Mate. English version is Matthew. However you find it easier. Originally, I come from Croatia. My wife and I, we are obviously in UK right now. So yeah, as Bale says, I did got scammed as well, which is the word is scam, not frauded, because there is difference, which we're gonna touch later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did use a good word. It was a scam. So yeah, I did got scammed personally. That really was painful, more frustrating than painful because I fall for it. But then later on, thankfully, I got into the bank and got certified as a fraud agent, well, debit card and fraud agent, which I investigated scams and frauds of different types, different values. So it was very sad actually experience.
So I mean, I don't know how much detail you want to go, but how exactly were you scammed?
Right. So for for me personally, really we were just looking to move to another house in London. and who is from London, you know how studious there are, the conditions and state of them. So yeah, we were really looking. We were looking over Airbnb. We did not know that Airbnb was hacked. So Airbnb main website was hacked. They didn't know either, because everything looked original, except one thing that I will say shortly now. It was one letter changed, but it was so tiny that you wouldn't even notice it when you are searching for studios. So when you search for apartment rooms or whatever you want to go to, down below you would find Airbnb, terms and conditions and stuff. But these letters are so small, so even if something is changed, you wouldn't. Who watches these things? Nobody. When you are not aware of this, you don't really watch. So yeah, we searched. We found something so great. It was open. We liked it. We went for it. I did not see that in the word air, letter I was replaced for letter L, which means that somebody hacked the website, because it was so tiny. You just don't pay attention for it and you just go for it. What happened next is that really this person made really a copy of the website, so it wasn't original. You wouldn't be able to see original. It's same like fake ATM, right? You come and you put your card and it's actually fake mask of the ATM upon it. This was the same thing, fake Airbnb above original Airbnb.
Wow.
So of course you click to book, to pay deposit, whatever. Of course, website tells you there is an error, there is problems. Suddenly Airbnb is under quotations Airbnb. This person behind is texting, right? Something is wrong. Could you please send us the funds privately on the bank account? If I didn't go for that, it wouldn't be considered a scam. It would be fraud. But I did, and now it's claimed as scam, which means you really lose case. But we will explain that more further in detail later on. But yeah, paid for it. Never saw money again. Person became very rude, very aggressive after that. Done a lot of research. Once I got into the bank, this is one of the first things I used systems for, because I still kept the phone numbers and everything. Um, Went to investigate, found the IP, found the phone number. You just wouldn't believe where that goes. I mean, we are talking phone number was from a person in Manchester. Address was registered on a business on the other side of the UK on the coast, a previous shoe store that was actually closed. So I don't even know how did they succeed to register that address there again. Um, and then actually IP was summoned from the islands in Australia, which probably the fraudster is based. When we did locate the bank account, it was like 0.12p on it, so it was actually just sad to. I was like, just leave it. I don't want it. It's fine.
Wow.
But yeah, I learned on a hard way, which
Right.
created a lot of passion why I want to do what I want to do with this.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
so yeah,
Wow. So
yeah.
sorry, so sorry to hear you go through that. Wow. I mean, I've personally been a victim of scam as well, but we'll go into that. So
Yeah.
so then what are the most common types of scams or frauds that you investigate?
Yeah. So really, it was all kind of various scams and frauds. I mean, whatever you can imagine, it was there, and more. Because sometimes you would get right. I didn't even know this is possible. So sometimes you see new stuff. Mostly it was always definitely cryptocurrency was on. That's super active. So that's something that we will
Cryptocurrencies is
mention highly. And it's a lot of different red flags than from the normal personal fraud. So there is a lot of differences that one needs to be aware of when it comes to cryptocurrency. um, Business frauds, false identity, theft of identity. I mean, I'm talking everything you can imagine. They've created a fraud and scams, fake credit cards. I mean, anything that it comes on your mind, it can be created for a fraud purposes and scam purposes. Anything
wow.
today. If you
So
have a phone, if your name exists in the system, you can be frauded. So that's it.
but when you say the system, what do you mean?
From the day you are born,
Right,
your name is in the government system, in
right,
their
okay.
computer. Yes, they have you in the hospital.
Right, right. Hmm.
From the day you are born, you're hackable.
Okay.
That is scary to hear, but that is so true. I mean, everybody needs to start understanding this so we can look. We will never be able to put a stop on this, but what we
Mm,
can do is slow it down
mm,
and help ourselves and people in our surrounding protect our businesses, our households, because there is many businesses that went into ruin, sent thousands of pounds outside, couldn't recover it, we couldn't help, and they bankrupt. So this is where I said, right, banks are not doing enough, something extra needs to be done. So this is why I've created what I've created in order to help
mm.
businesses, churches, individuals, whomever.
So give us a typical story of how a scammer approaches their target. Give us a typical story, like an example of what you've seen.
Right. So we have scammers. Right now I'm gonna speak about scam, not fraud.
Right.
If we come to fraud, I can say a few examples.
Sure.
So when it comes to scam, and these examples we will also research more deeper once we go into the workshop itself. Um, so one of the scammers that really invested months of time was one of the scams that is called scam through false romantic relationship, which I guess everybody probably heard of. It's becoming very famous. We have a lot of people that is now on dating sites, Christian dating sites, secular dating sites, and this is not clean websites. Same like Facebook groups. It's full of people who are scammers and fraudsters. There is thousands of people on that. So there was this old lady, 70 years old, British citizen. She was a Christian, Pentecostal Christian. Of course, she was very faithful, loved God and everything, and she did not want to die alone, which is okay, and I understand that. A lot of old people wants to find a partner when their spouse dies. They don't want to die alone. Of
Right.
course, she wanted to marry. Um, so she went on Christian dating app. So 78, or when she called me first time when we done interview, it was a bit, I was about to smile because it's a bit weird to hear that somebody with 78 goes on dating apps. But then again, I really understand that she's not the only one. Um, and of course, there was this guy that she found. And not only was he a Christian, but he was, again, quotation marks because it's fake. He was a pastor. So for a Pentecostal lady, it's, not only to find a husband, but to find a man that's actually a pastor. It's like, yeah, I got it all, full package.
Ah, full
So
package. Wow.
yeah, so this guy, I mean, he knew the Bible. Well, he knew the Bible. You can quote Bible from Google today. Everything is approachable. He quoted the Bibles. I mean, we are talking months of his invested time to get to this lady's financial funds. Yeah,
Well,
we are talking.
to get to her heart first, right?
Yeah, that's the main thing I'm going to say. Yes, so the manipulation is the first thing they're gonna do. Once they get you in your heart and in your head, that's it. You're gone. Um, so what happened? This took months and months. I was 4 or 5 months texting, developing relationship. I mean, when I read, so this was the longest call I've ever had when I work for the bank. I think it was first call I've done with her was 3.5 hours because so basically, they done investigation already, but they haven't done it well. So I had to do everything all over again. I didn't look into previous notes of previous fraud investigator because I couldn't rely on it. It was incorrect. It missed few details that were very important. So I done the whole interview with her again. I mean, you can. It was 3.5 hours because she was crying a lot. She couldn't breathe. I heart attack or something because it's not easy. Um, but we went through it. She spoke to me, she showed me all the evidence, sent me all the evidence. I mean, guys, if you would see these letters, you would fall in love with it as well. I mean, we are talking, this is like proper romance, yes. Love songs, love expressions. It's like another level, like really proper stuff, nice stuff. Um, and then of course quoting the Bible, even praying, like we are talking about voice calls, not video calls, just voice calls. So guy was actually calling her. Of course she didn't know that that's a fraudster. He sounded nice, so same like we are talking now. um so he invested months and months into that, and of course she was falling for it. And later when we will be doing workshop, I explain detailed steps how he done it. You will see certain steps of manipulation, how he done it, how everything went step by step. And later on, you will be able to see as well how he got her, and what she has done. And there was the problem, that we couldn't help her anymore. But there was one of the really, I would say, one of the most emotional ones. It was really hard for me to investigate that one. Literally, when I finished it, I even cried a bit, because it was just too much. Sometimes you ask yourself, we understand there is evil in this world and bad people, but sometimes it's just Pale, come on, how can you do this to a 78-year-old lady? These were her funds, for
And
retirement, and now
okay,
everything is
so
gone.
sort of a ballpark figure, how much did she lose in that scam? Just like
She
a
lost more
rate,
than 10K, 10,000 pounds.
more than
Yes,
10,000.
so it was 10,000 pounds that she sent him over. So he was in United States. Of course, story went that they reached such a deep point of their relationship online that she was okay. We let's marry, but I want you to come here to live in UK. I don't want to go in States. And he says, yeah, I'm willing to do that, but this is the point when he turned everything for his side. He says, but I don't have the money, and this is how usually it starts. There you go, this is kind of first big red flag. I don't have the money. So you're living for years in States, doing what? How are you eating? You don't have money. But of course, she doesn't ask herself these questions, because now she is emotional. She is, in love. She just wants him to come. She's desperate. She's alone. So he says he needs 10,000 pounds. He sent him 10,000 pounds, and who understands UK system, that you need extra money in your pension. Your pension doesn't last forever. Once your pension is gone, you don't get the pension anymore. So this was really her money extra that she needed for once her pension will go lower, that she can use that extra money. She sent him hoping that he would come. Same for me. The moment she sent the money, that was it. No more answers on the calls, no more answers on the emails, text. I mean, the lady was so desperate. It's something I've never heard before. She couldn't even talk on the phone how much she was crying. It was really hard to hear her. And then it took me days to find out what can I do. I don't know with how many departments I have spoken. We've really done everything we could, but that's what we're going to discuss: differences between scam and fraud, and
So,
how each one of those, which kind of result it can bring you.
right. So then sort of just give us a little bit of an introduction and into the difference between the scam and the fraud.
Right. So difference between scam and a fraud is that scam is something that you knew it's happening and you allowed it, which now liability is on you
Right.
as a client. And fraud is something you didn't know it's happening and you found out too late, which will probably you will win the case 98%. Depends on a case as well.
So basically, if you're scammed, it's hardly likely that you could ever get the money back.
Very hard. It has to be really, really strong, and solid evidence. And again, if you've done it yourself, such as I did, you lose definitely. There is no way the bank will defend you. You can go legally, privately, hire solicitors, lawyers, go on the court, but who are you going to sue when they can't find them? And then when they find them, there is 12p on their account. So what are you gonna get? Nothing. You're just gonna pay legal fees, and they will never arrest them because they're on the country that they don't have authority of. So you can't. That's why we need to stop it before it happens, because physically we can't get them. We can't go there and arrest them. So we need to work on ourselves. The only way how we can stop fraud and scam, the only way, no systems, just knowledge. We need to have the knowledge. This is the only way how we can stop it. There is no other way.
Wow, that's incredible. So how does technology, things like artificial intelligence, the cryptocurrencies and all that, how does all of that play into the scams and the frauds that we're seeing today?
So when it comes to artificial intelligence, that's another level. they can literally copy mine and yours voice.
Voice, yeah, that's
So
right. I understand
yeah,
that they could copy your voice and you wouldn't know the difference of the
nope.
voices.
I had case like that as well. When I listened to the phone call, um, they, oh sorry, Caroline Newman. Sorry, my chat just went out. What is the question? Don't you sue the bank to get your money back? The bank should have stopped the payment. Right. So that, Caroline, that, where are you from? Are you in London? Which country are you from? UK. Right. So how it works with the bank, um, is that bank is not really, we just make decisions based on evidence. So you can't really sue the bank. I mean, you can't sue the bank, but you lose because it is all in terms and condition of your bank account. It's all there in the tiny letters. There is so many customers that were screaming at me for days because they thought I made the rules, I made the laws. The thing is that the government made such laws that is together with the bank. So it's all, once you sign the contract to create your account in a bank, you sign terms and conditions, and it's all there. And if the bank tells you that they can't do anything, that means that they can't do anything. Of course, you can go and chase it up. You can chase as much as you want, but they're not gonna do it. Which then again, you will go to, if you are in UK, you would go to something called Financial Ombudsman Service. They are higher body than the bank. Then they will ask us, for example, they would contact me, and they would say, Mate, let's say I investigated Bale's case. They would say, Mate, we need all of your notes of investigation from Bale, and they would be taking over. And if they decide that it's a no as well, then there is nothing you can do anymore, definitely. That means if they agree with my decision, then you will not. But again, sometimes Financial Ombudsman Service says, actually, we disagree with the investigators' decision. We say yes, and then they would call me back and say, please give money back.
And
So, and then, yeah,
in terms of an average, how often does that happen?
not much.
Not much.
Yeah, as I said, it really needs to be proper. It's very hard to make mistakes because everything you do is collect the evidence. So we are just between, we are between our job is to protect the customer. Um, by the way, I'm not working for the bank anymore now. I'm for myself, obviously educating people. But um, our job is between the customer and the fraudster. We do have systems in place, which I'm going to explain later on the workshop, and how they function and how they react on your bank account. Which sometimes you get messages, please contact the fraud department because we locked your account. You might be under attack. I will explain how that functions and how it cooperates with you. But um, as I said, Financial Ombudsman Service is a higher entity than any bank in UK, and it depends on them what they say then. And it doesn't happen often, unfortunately, that they say yes, because they see the evidence. Everything is based on evidence. We don't make decisions. I never made a decision based on how I feel, because if it was for this lady, I would give her all the money back, and then I'll send some flowers as well. I can't do that because it's bank's money, of course, which is, insured and everything, but still I can't do that. I need, every decision I make, it needs to be based only on the evidence, not on my feelings or emotions, which is hard, especially because today people don't want to keep the bills, receipts. They just throw them, they don't have. So I was like this as well, and then my wife told me, stop throwing the receipts, stop throwing the bills. You need to keep at least something, especially if you buy something expensive, which people don't have that use.
Mhm.
They just throw stuff away. And then when we ask them for the evidence, I don't have it. Well, how can I help you then?
Ooh, so
Just by the word, it doesn't work like that.
wow. So I was just about to ask you, so what are some of the biggest challenges that you experience when investigating these types of cases?
The biggest challenges would be definitely also people not understanding. So people not reading terms and conditions, Pale, when they sign for contracts for the bank accounts, right? What do we do when we, for example, when we go now, you want to create Monzo account. It's so easy. Literally in 5 minutes, you have an account and card is coming in 3 days on your home address. nobody reads anymore, but everything is there. Everything is there. It tells you. And even if you need, or also people are confusing a lot Visa with bank. They think bank is Visa. No, Visa is something else. It's not like it's different thing. We all need to cooperate with each other. But there is a lot that people don't understand when it comes to investigations and something that happens to them. And then the worst thing that happens is that they think it's our fault, that that's the law. They think I decided the law of the bank or the law of the government that they can get it. No, I wish I could give them back, but I'm under the same law that I need to follow. So for me, personally, that was the hardest thing for me, is that people would go off. I mean, I'm talking, they speak over you, really some bad stuff. They treat you bad. You try your best to calm them down, but of course, I can't allow people to bully me, so I would just close the phone down, make a full report. Customer was very rude, didn't want to listen. Again, I understand them. If I lost 10K, I'll go guns blazing. But we can't be like this. We need to act civilized. We can't act like cavemen. We need to speak, even doesn't matter the circumstances. We need to communicate like people. We are all people. We can all get into these situations. So, okay, Monica, but if you don't, Monica is asking, if you don't accept the terms of the bank, you can't open that account. Yeah, that's correct. If you don't accept the terms. So, Monica, what I'm really saying is that when people, for example, when we investigate one of the frauds I investigated, customer, I think Bale might have made a slight mistake with that, with the time scales. He didn't report anything. Was that one of the things, right? With
Who?
your case that
Oh,
you
no, no,
reported too late?
no, that's fine. Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, one of the customers, for example, different cases have different time scales. Depends if it's a merchant dispute, if it's a fraud, if it's a scam. All of them has different time scales that you need to report. I believe the lowest one is within 15 days that it needs to be reported. Otherwise, bank will not take the case. And again, it all depends on the case. So this customer went off. I mean, he was a gambler addict, which already he failed the case, because 98% of the cases they lost the money and now they are reporting it as a fraud. But even if he didn't, he waited too long. According to the terms and conditions, which he didn't read when he opened the account, which is explained there, I made a decision according to that, because he broke the terms and conditions. He didn't report it on time. So there was nothing I could do anymore. I'm not allowed to open the case. If I was to open actually system will not allow you. Like I literally explained him that I'm clicking and it's not allowing me to create a case. I can't. The system doesn't allow because it's overdue. So this is what people, so yeah, this is one of the hardest thing, that people accept that it's not me who made the law. It's not me who made the rule. I'm trying to do my best. But yeah, sometimes, yeah. And then of course they go, we're gonna sue the bank, and they never sue the bank because they know it's not gonna work. And they do get the answer from the bank, because bank will, believe me, there is nothing that they will miss out. Everything is covered. So it's not like bank will intentionally want to hurt people. This is these theories of, um like who is ruling the world and stuff like that. This stuff, I don't agree with that, because bank is also a business and they want clients. So why would they want to hurt their own clients?
Absolutely.
It's just logic for me. If I have people clients, why would I want to hurt them? I want to help them.
Mm,
So yeah, it's very hard when people don't understand that aspect. But that's, again, I say that's why I started this, to educate people before they come to that point. Even my grandma, the other day, she calls me, oh, they called me my retirement. Said, you can't even just close the phone immediately. You know that there will be nobody calling you from retirement department on the phone. They just send the letters. But you see, people don't know this. They need to be educated.
right.
So
Because I was
yeah.
now the next question was the most effective way to raise awareness of these types of issues. What do you think is the most effective way of raising awareness of these types of issues?
So when I was still working for the bank, I had many conversations even with people on higher positions, because I always felt like, hey, when I collected all the materials, all the systems, when I saw the cases, and when I saw also what more we could do to educate people to prevent these things happening, of course, I didn't. There was a long process of approvals that I needed to go through. So then I wasn't allowed to do it like I'm allowed now. But the only thing we can do really more, as I said, is educate, educate, educate. And sometimes people like, oh, I don't want to sit 1 hour on the workshop to listen. Yeah, but what if I can tell you stuff that you didn't know about, and that not, unfortunately, not might happen. It is when it's going to happen. It's just matter of time. We all have phone numbers. We all have email addresses. As I said, if you exist, if you were born, you are hackable. I know it sounds silly, but they can literally hack into microwave. If it's electrical, they can hack into microwave. Everything is hackable today, including us and everything
I
we own.
remember you said if you're traveling on the train and you plug your phone
Yeah,
into the socket, not the electric one, but if you just use the normal, I guess, data transfer cable
yeah,
to charge up, if you plug that into a train or a public place, then
yeah.
you could potentially get hacked like that. Is that so?
Oh, definitely. So if you put, let's say, normal USB charger, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say you take Stagecoach or whatever bus company in other countries people use, all these USB ports. All
Mm.
of this is everything that is electronical can be hacked, including the train. Train has a system, has a router that is connected to the satellite. Somebody can go in it. It's very simple. You just need to know how to do it. It's very sad, but do you think that bus company has a IT there? White. We call them white. So you have white hat hacker and you have black hat hacker. Black hat hacker is a bad guy. He is really a fraudster. And white hat hackers, they are really IT professionals that companies and governments hire, saying really, right, it's better for you to work for us, we'll pay you big money than actually working against us, because you're gonna do it anyways, so I'll at least work with us then. So now we have white hat hackers that many companies are hiring, including government, and they would try to protect them, such as protection of emails not to be intercepted, etc. But do you think that our national coach express, you biggest UK bus, they don't have, an IT expert who will protect every USB port of every bus they own?
Wow.
So the moment you plug in your phone, it's accessible. If it's hacked, if the port is hacked, somebody can get into your phone. There is no problems. It's very simple and easy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very scary, Bale, but this is why we are doing what we are doing,
Wow.
because we are living in an internet age. We are living in a digital area.
Hmm.
This is not anymore manual stuff. This is not anymore write letters on paper and send them by mail. This is not
Wow.
like this anymore. I mean,
The thing
we
is,
are
and
living.
the thing is, because it's so digital, it's easy to transfer from one place to the next quickly.
Oh yeah, it just disappears in a second. It's
Yeah.
gone. I mean, look, like they use phone from Manchester, business from the other side of the country, and then yet they were in Australia. It's like three resources to hack me. It's amazing what can be done with this with the digital science today. So yeah, it's very scary, but
Wow.
it doesn't need to be if we are educated. So many people
So,
didn't want to do the workshop, and then once they done it, it was like, oh wow, I didn't have idea that HMRC, which in UK, who is from UK, they will know this is for taxes, etc. Oh, that they don't call you on the phone. Well, they don't, but they didn't know that, so now they know because they were called and they went for it and they almost got frauded. Should I say scam? Because if obviously they would give them information, so it would be a scam. I
hmm,
mean, so they're calling me on once per every 4 or 5 once in 4 or 5 months, because of course my phone number is in UK, so everybody can find you. So
yeah.
I also receive calls, and it's like HMRC, you owe taxes. Like I just immediately close my phone because I know it's not HMRC.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we do have some other international people on the calls as well. So it's pretty similar across the board, right? The
Yeah,
yes, the US authorities wouldn't call you, well, the US tax people wouldn't call you
yeah,
to try and get some money out of you, or say that you
Yeah, I don't think they would call. Imagine they need to call everybody from you. I don't think they have enough workers to do that.
because
So yeah, I mean, I don't. Of course, if somebody here from US can say something about tax office of US, it would be great. You know how that functions. But I don't think they call people.
yeah.
Usually it's probably letters, emails, warnings.
Wow.
But again, there
So
is a lot of stuff we're gonna mention in the workshop that is coming. A lot of more details. It's really, really important for us to understand this. I'm just excited because for me personally, it is I feel very accomplished. Not just the fact that I've done the workshop, but actually um that I see people applying that and being protected. And now not only that they apply, I had people now educating their grandchildren, telling them, hey, we bought them the phone, but we explained them, don't go here, don't accept this, don't click here. It's amazing. So it's spreading, which is what we want to achieve.
wow, that's right. So we want to make sure that we educate people and give them even more resources. So we just had some examples of what are the possibilities today, but we're going to have a bigger and more in-depth workshop where we're going to give people some more material,
Yeah,
way more information on how they could prevent themselves from being victims, like some of the examples that we saw here today. Now, today we are having a special. So we're gonna have a workshop. The workshop is gonna be a paid workshop, by the way. So was there gonna be some resources that you're gonna get? Um,
yeah,
yeah. So you're gonna leave. You're not gonna leave empty-handed. It's gonna be a lot more in depth than we had today, right? So those who want to lock in their positions, the workshop is gonna be next week, Sunday at the same time, on Zoom as well. And we're going to drop the link in here, and I'm going to give you a code for a 25% discount on this. Let me just drop a chat. Where I can't even see the chat. Okay, there we go.
yeah, it's down below.
Uh,
Yeah, there will definitely be resources I will give out.
yes.
So it's all professional resources, of course. Nothing is made up or
Yeah.
taught on. So yeah, you can be assured of that. Nobody leaves just with a video call. So because again, the point is that you have it with you, not just us talking. And of course, on that workshop, definitely if people can also, you can say stuff. It's gonna be educational teaching workshop, but yet you can also communicate with us. So it's not like only me talking. So definitely, yeah.
Right. So all you just have to do is use the word wise in the promotional code there. Just add your promotional code and you will get a 25% discount. And literally, for information like this, that's going to save you potentially tens of thousands of dollars, pounds, whatever your currency is. This is a ridiculously cheap price. Once you put in the discount code, it's going to be $29.99. Like
Yeah.
that is a giveaway. I mean, you can give it away for free, right?
Yeah.
It's
And
like
if you
giving it
guys,
away for
if
free.
anybody, yeah, exactly. And if anybody knows, so it doesn't need to be only from this circle. If you know anybody else who would want to know this stuff, get educated, please let them. I guess I don't know, Bali, is there gonna be a limit of people that can apply? I
It,
don't.
it, it will be limited to 100 people.
Okay, yeah, well, definitely it's enough. A lot. We even had some extra space now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they have extra people outside of this circle, business circle, please get them on, tell them what is it about. It will be really, really helpful that we can spread this.
Yep.
There is no other way except the knowledge. If we know what are the red flags, we can stop it before it happens.
Yep.
But if it happens and I'm investigating it, that's bad enough already because it happened. So we want to come to the point that it doesn't happen.
Awesome. So people, get yourself locked in today, and we will send you the link for next week where the full workshop is going to be. You could come and make sure that you know, get your minds open, and get your minds ready to be blown away by some of the information that you're going to get from Mate, who is
Definitely.
fraud investigator for one of the largest banks in the entire world. Okay. Thank you so much, Mate, for being on with us. We are going to continue on with looking at the markets and looking at things that's going to be happening in the markets this week. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Paolo, and thank you everybody else for listening. I will see you soon then.
Yep.
Make sure you jump into this workshop, and it's going to be really exciting and insightful for everybody. Thank you so much for your attention. See you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye-bye.